morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, October the 3rd. Good to have you with us here. We've got two guests. We're going to start off with Dr. Siva, who is a rheumatologist from MU Healthcare. Good to have you here.
Thanks
Dr.
for having
Siva.
me, Paul.
And you are working on something that revolutionized how long we live if we have heart problems. You are experimenting with a drug that's used to treat arthritis, to help with our heart problems?
To prevent heart attacks.
Okay, what are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm a rheumatologist. I take care of rheumatoid arthritis and some autoimmune diseases. There is a medication called methotrexate. Methotrexate, which has been used extensively for the last 30 years to treat rheumatoid arthritis. What they found out that people who took that medication had less frequent heart attacks and strokes. Based on studies across the country and across the globe. So the rheumatologists and the heart doctors got together at Boston at the Harvard Medical School, and they approached the National Institute of Health to fund this study. And it's a national study. I am a site investigator for Columbia.
So the study is going on here in Columbia also?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's done across many other academic medical centers throughout the country and some in Canada.
So if someone has a heart problem, are you talking about clogged arteries, high blood pressure?
No, the design of the study is people will be taking methotrexate. They should have either diabetes or what we call metabolic syndrome, kind of pre-diabetes, and they should have had a heart attack within the last 5 years.
You had to have had a heart attack within the last 5 years?
5 years. And then they enroll in this study and they take this medication. There are some of them are not going to get the medication, and they are going to be followed over a 5-year period and see how many have heart attacks, what's the frequency of heart attacks, and compare them between those who took it and those who did not take it.
So some will be getting a placebo.
That's correct.
And some will get the real medication. And you won't know
it will
for
be
5 years
if
you had the real medication or you had
the placebo.
Now, if somebody listening wants to be a part of this study, what do they need to do?
They need to call the Office of Clinical Research at the University of Missouri, and the phone number is 882-4894, or they can visit the website. It's called thecirt.org. It's thecirt.org.
Okay, they can call that number
882-4894.
Tell them they heard it on Radio Friends about the study. If you've had a heart attack within the last 5 years.
Or actually if they had blockages by angiogram, what we call multi-vessel coronary artery disease, they should have had all the 3 major blood vessels blockages in them.
So they could be part of that study
That
too.
also is a criteria where they can criterion where they qualify.
Okay. Dr. Siva, thank you so much.
Thanks
for coming
a lot.
back.
And the
That's
website
really
is thecirt.org. CIRT stands for Cardiovascular Inflammation Reduction Trial.
Okay. Otherwise, 882-4894.
Yep.
4894. Thank you, Dr. Siva.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure having you
Thank
here.
you.
Now we turn to a lady that I've known for a long time. I haven't seen you for quite a while, though. Marsha Knudsen. I always think of you as taking pictures, but you haven't been doing that for what, about 8 years now?
Yes,
Knudsen
absolutely.
Studio.
Knudsen Photography is no more,
yeah.
and so we've moved on.
But you've written a book. It's called Sailor's Mail. You sent me a copy of this book several months ago, and I can tell you, I haven't read the whole thing. I've read parts of it and thumbed through it. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's put together with love, which you can see so much love. Tell me about this.
Well, my father served in the Navy in World War II. Never spoke about his time in the war, neither did my mother. And when they passed away about 5 and 8 years ago, I inherited this big steamer trunk that had been in the attic for many years. And when I opened the trunk, inside were his Navy uniform, 200 letters that he had mailed home while he was in the service.
That your mother had meticulously saved.
She saved everything. There were 400 photographs, many of them from the Pacific Islands. She had scrapbooks that I had never seen before with telegrams, newspaper clippings, ration stamps, rent and utility receipts. And so I became so enamored by reading his letters that I belonged to a memoir writing group at the time, and that week I forgot to write any memoir, and so I took a couple of his letters, read them to the group. They loved it. And so the next week I read more, and then they said, well, what's your mother doing? So I started going, I went back to the trunk, and there were her diaries. So I started putting everything together and telling their story.
And you put it in a book,
I put it in a book.
It's loaded with photographs also.
Yes, it has over 240 images in there, which made the war real for me.
And you've got pictures of the postcards that were sent. I just happened to open it up here, and here's one from Honolulu, the pineapple fields on Oahu.
Right.
Now, I remember reading about this in here. Your father sent postcards, but he wasn't allowed to say where he was.
Right. When he was stationed in Pearl Harbor for a very short period of time before he shipped out for overseas, and he couldn't tell her where he was.
But when the postcards came, it was pretty obvious.
It was pretty clear. And what they did is they devised a secret code to bypass military censorship so that he could tell her where he was located. So after he shipped out, she always knew where he was because of their secret code.
It really is it's a very, very nice book. It brings back a lot of memories for you, and I'm sure people listening to us, if they're of our age or a little bit younger, will appreciate it. It's called Sailor's Mail, and it's available where?
It's
Marsha?
available through me or on Amazon. They can go to Sailor's Mail at Amazon.com.
So just go to Amazon.com and put in Sailor's Mail.
Sailor's Mail.
And your book will come up.
It will. And my phone number is 881-6275.
Okay. This would make a really nice Christmas gift for someone. I know we're not close to Christmas, but it'll be here before you know it.
It will, it will. I also have a website if they want to read more about it, and it's sailorsmail.net.
Okay, sailorsmail.net.
N-E-T.
Or you can get it on Amazon, and you're going to be part of the OSHA Book Talk.
I am. In the spring, yes. I'm going to be at the OSHA Book Talk, and in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be at the Daniel Boone Library talking about it to encourage other people to save their memories.
Thank you so much, Marsha. It's a good pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
We're out of time for today. Monday, we've got Autumn on the Bricks in Fulton. Our program directed by Travis McMillen of the Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio, Pat Akers. Oh, wait a minute. Pat's off today. He's having a root canal. So we've got Kyle Felling. We're sending you good thoughts, Pat. Our floor director is Lowell Thomas, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. We'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.